studio. Yep, it's 11 o'clock, and here we are chatting about some of the important issues that are happening throughout the world and, of course, here locally. But right now, we want to just go ahead and invite everybody into the Google Plus Hangout. If you have a Gmail account, that means that you can join into this this web chat that we're having right now as we have people joining in currently. That's Edwin coming in. All you need is a Gmail account. Click in, then you can add Google Plus on the right-hand side, and it allows you to have Hangouts with anybody around the world, and that's currently what we're doing here. We do every day at 11 o'clock on our webcast. And we're going to start off with the big story of the day, and that is the horrific earthquake that happened in the Philippines. At least 13 people are dead after a magnitude 6.7 earthquake rattled the central Philippine island of Negros this morning. Now, the quake has triggered more than 40 aftershocks, forcing officials to close schools and businesses. You can imagine dozens are feared trapped under the rubble. People are staying out of the streets, afraid, of course, of aftershocks, and that may collapse more buildings. Officials issued a tsunami warning soon after the quake, but that has now been lifted. It seems like we're getting these every couple of months, doesn't it? These massive earthquakes, and unfortunately the tsunami warnings that come with it. But the good news is tsunami warning has been canceled. And we're joined now by our group here. I just want to introduce them really quickly. We've got Diano here from Reno. We've got Edwin from LA. We've got Kim from Missouri. And Edwin, we're going to go ahead and start with you. We talked a little bit earlier about this quake, and you said you have some extended family that were affected. What can you tell us?
I only know a little. Last night, after the earthquake, a relative saying that she freaked out.
Edwin, we're getting clear clips on your mic. Can you get a little bit closer to the mic? That might help it. There you go.
You know, I have a slow connection.
No, that's perfect. We got you now.
Okay, great. The only thing I know about the quake is last night after it hit.
Edwin, we're still having problems. You know what? We're going to come back to the story because I think that, Edwin, we're getting a little bit of interference on your mic, and it's sounding a little bit gargly. So if you want to work with that, maybe we'll get you back after. Sound good? Kim, what have you heard? Have you heard much about the earthquake so far? Your thoughts, too, about this happening? It seems like it's happening obviously, we can't predict earthquakes, but it seems to be happening every couple of months. Oh, Kim, we've got you without audio.
One of the things that I feel is happening is that the earth is saying, hello, you need to take better care of me. I actually flew through Japan right after they had their earthquake last year. Mm-hmm. And even though it was in the aftermath of cleaning up, the people were still affected by it. I could see people wearing masks and all like that. And I think in the Philippines they're going to have the same type of recovery period where the people are just in shock right now. And the families are just trying to make sure that everything is, you know, A-okay with the family members and all like that. So I'm hoping that family members can find each other and making sure that they're safe.
Yeah, and this is a time, too, to remember to everyone, of course, this is a time, if you can, to donate. Every little bit helps, and they need the money that they can to start fixing what needs to be done and getting that all-important cash into the area so that way they can put it into the right areas that need it. It's so tough. A lot of people always want to donate food and clothing, and sometimes that can be tough to get over there, but maybe money, if you're looking to help out, might be the right way to go. Well, we're going to hope that we get Edwin back here. I know he's having a little bit of computer problems, so we'll hope to get him back. And let's move on to the other story, which is a controversy, of course, for last night. Giant fans celebrated, of course, their team's victory over the Patriots at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, but once again, controversy surrounds the Super Bowl halftime. Instead of a wardrobe malfunction this year, it was a slip of a finger that is causing all the commotion. Singer MIA gave the middle finger to the camera during her song, Give Me All Your Lovin'. In a written statement, an NBC spokesperson said, quote, the NFL hired the talent and produced the halftime show. Our system was late to obscure the inappropriate gesture, and we apologize to our viewers. Did either of you see it last night? Did you see the slip-up, if you will? Diano, did you watch? Did you see?
I caught the replays. It's like I was watching it online. It's like during the Super Bowl itself, I was far more interested in having myself a Game of Thrones marathon than watching the game.
Okay, that's okay. There you go. Kim, you said you saw it. You've got something to say about it. What do you think?
I didn't see it the first time around, but I caught it on the replays, and I was like, oh, you know what? this kind of matches up with the kiss with Christina Aguilera, because you're sitting there and you're waiting for something to happen. Something's got to happen, and nothing happened. And I was in a Hangout when it was going on, and people were like, "Okay, that's it." So that's the controversy.
I know, but when you think about it, like, this is a family show. I know even some of those ads can be a little bit risque, funny albeit, but a little bit risque. But still, you've got, this is a family show and families are gathered around watching the game. And, you kind of wonder, like, where do you draw the line and the appropriateness of it all? Edwin, don't you think, right? Am I totally off base here?
Sorry, I dropped out.
Oh, there you are. Oh, good, Edwin. I'm glad you're back. Gianno, am I totally off base here? We'll wait for Edwin to get up and running.
No, you're not totally off base. It's like, that definitely should not have happened. I think what happened is that MII just kind of got a little bit too into it. The adrenaline was flowing, and when those things are going on and you're excited, you just kind of do things and you're not thinking about it until later. I think it definitely shouldn't have happened, but at the end of the day, I do think it was just a mistake. It's like, you can't unring that bell, but at the same time, I find it hard to, hey, it's not like her top came off or anything like that. Like,
I guess it could have been worse.
Yeah.
There's also kind of chatter about a few things. Maybe Madonna put her up to it. This is, the buzz that's being on Twitter and whatnot. Maybe Madonna put her up to it, and maybe she did it because of the controversy, obviously, and knowing that she's got an album coming out. Cam, you think it's far-fetched, or it's just one of those things like she got excited and it happened?
It did look staged when it wasn't like a momentary thing. It was a pre-thought-out thing. But the thing is that even though it's causing controversy, that's not what's going to last. What's going to last is that Madonna name, and that's what's going to sell.
I agree with you. And speaking of Madonna, last night she had some pretty amazing numbers when it came to Twitter. In fact, Twitter posted more than 12,000 tweets per second during the last moments of the Super Bowl game last night. According to Twitter, this is the highest ever number of tweets per second. They said the second highest for the numbers, and the exact number actually is 12,233 tweets per second. Pretty amazing. And then the second highest amount was for Madonna, 8,000 per second for 5 minutes. That was all for Madonna last night. So what do you think? Pretty amazing that Twitter's kind of catching on with all of this, and that they're tweeting so much all about this, or this is just another day for Twitter. That's just the way it goes. Edwin, let's try you. Let's try your mic. What do you think?
Oh, well, I think Madonna is, she is queen of fierce. Anything she does gets the attention, and she deserves it. She worked hard, and it was an amazing show. And what I really loved about her show is the technology that she uses. I want one of those, 30-yard LCD screens on my yard. I want to watch TV.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. The graphics last night for her show were pretty amazing. And I'd like to just go ahead and introduce your kitty. Pretty cute little cat there. I think it's the first time we've had a cat on the Hangout, I just want to say.
Well, the ratings are going to go up. Put this on YouTube, and then
There we go.
So this is Elizabeth. She's a little needy. So
Elizabeth's cute. Thanks, Elizabeth, for hanging out with us. Gianna, what do you think about the Twitter buzz? Are you on Twitter, first of all?
I am on Twitter, and sometimes I even use it.
Yeah, that makes two of us. I'm on Twitter,
too. I find Google Plus far more useful for things like conversations and interactions. It's like, in case you haven't noticed about me, my thoughts very rarely fit into 140 characters. So
that's part of the problem, right? Yeah, and Twitter. But are you surprised by the amount of people who are on Twitter just basically going for it and those high points of the game?
Well, it's like, I am and I'm not. It's like, that's the one cool thing about Twitter is that that because the updates are so short and whatnot, people can get little minor thoughts out there very, very quickly and then get back to what they were doing, and that's expected on Twitter. So it's like, it's very cool to see so many people grasping an aspect of social media and using it so effectively.
Yeah, Kim, what do you think about that whole idea, this social media push for building this village of people around one, we're all watching it at the same time, and we're all talking about it here on Twitter, or at least a lot of people obviously were. What do you think that says about social media and just another big event and another mass showing from Twitter?
It just shows that social media is a way of connecting people, whether they're right next to each other or around the world. People want to connect and communicate and build relationships, and Twitter allowed people to do that about the Super Bowl yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty impressive, those numbers. I'm going to talk about something else that's a little bit impressive, especially if you're really into those iPhone apps. Some of you may not consider it very impressive, but kind of strange. It's something called Breathalyze, an iPhone app that basically reads something that's called your HGN, your horizontal gaze nystagmus. That's the word. Boy, that's a hard one. Anyways, what it does is you basically get your phone and you hold it up, add the app, and hold it up to your eyes, or have the bartender hold it up to your eyes. And it will use the camera to measure your eyes. Now, if you've ever done or if you've ever seen someone have, let's say, I'm going to assume you've never had a DUI check before, but if you've ever seen one, the officer or the trooper will put his finger up like this and go back and forth, basically measuring your eyes. And once you get to a certain point, your eyes, if you're drunk or on medication or have a medical issue, will start to bounce. The question is how big it bounces, and that is an indication that you are under the influence of drugs or alcohol. So your iPhone app will basically use its camera and read your eyes and watch you move, and it'll tell you, depending on how many times you bounce or how large your bounces are, how drunk you are. So it's kind of like what, again, the name Breathalyze, and they're using this, or at least it's an app you can buy, 99 cents. You have to have the newest version of iPhone and have your own breathalyzer. They do have in the warning there, this is, you should not be drinking and driving, etc., and, all the safety precautions go along with it. But an app, nonetheless, just another thing that you can get on the iPhone. You guys, what do you think about this new app? Good idea, bad idea, would you get it? Edwin, let's start with you.
Being a college, being a guy who went to college, being a guy who lived in Hermosa Beach for 10 years or so, I think it's going to promote more drinking. I think more people are going to use it just to see what they are and get a career that you're drunk. I like the idea. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but probably promote a lot more drinking and a lot of safe driving.
Yeah. Edwin, we're still having some problems with your audio. Deanna, what do you think? Good idea? Bad idea?
I think it's cute in a way, but I feel like this. How to put this? If you need them to explain to you how drunk you are, then you're probably pretty far gone already.
Yeah, that's well, I guess if you just have a few beverages and you're looking to see, yeah, still probably not the best of idea. Kim, would you use it?
I'm not a drinker, so this is coming from the standpoint of someone who doesn't drink. Mm-hmm. No, because there's no guarantee to it. Plus, it, like Edwin said, it can promote. It's a possibility it could promote more drinking, just to test it or just to say, I can cover myself with this.
True, and it says here, just to let you know, it does have the disclaimer. Breathalyze does not take any legal responsibility. Very clearly printed on there, but it does tell you that it takes the approximate look at an individual's toxicity or individual's intoxication levels, but does not cannot measure their BAC, which is their blood alcohol content level. Interesting, though. Have you guys found any interesting other apps that you've recently been using that you want to share with everybody?
Use the flashlight app.
Yeah, the flashlight app's good. Deanna, so you're still an Android user. You're like, no,
yes.
no iPhone.
What do you mean still?
That's the only
crossover and join the
iPhone.
You
too?
Yes, I cannot myself go to iPhone. Let me explain why. Because I am a web developer. If I need to do something on the client's website, I cannot necessarily use an iPhone because of Flash and other reasons. I can get every website I work on my phone or on my tablet because they're Droid. So I have to stay with Droid.
Wow.
Yeah, and for me, it's like I'm too much in the Google ecosystem. It's like, my mail is Gmail. Obviously, I'm on Google+. I'm a Google Voice user. I use my Google Reader, my Google Contacts, my Google Calendar. The list literally goes on, and it's awesome that every time I get a new phone, I sign in, bam, everything's there. All my music, all my pictures, all my contacts, everything. I don't have to think about it anymore. Everything syncs, and steal one from Apple, yes, it does just work. And
Well, you know what?
I love it. I can't use an iPhone.
I have my Gmail on my iPhone, and it works perfectly well. I think it works great. And you've got all. Come on, without this, you can't get breathalyzed. What are you guys doing?
Well,
Anyway,
then that's sad that they haven't
Best Buy
developed it. It's
I know.
sad that they haven't
gonna make
developed
you-
it for Droid.
I'm going to make you guys all do the breathalyze test before you come into the Hangout, just to make
this
sure.
is the Droid's way of doing it.
Oh, I love the world of technology. You just never know what you're going to find. All right, everybody. Just quickly, Edwin, I want to touch base and go back to the original story about the earthquake in the Philippines. And I know we're having some audio issues with you, but just if you can, really quickly, is your family okay, and what do you know?
Oh, the only thing I know is my mom's okay. Freaked out. They were worried about the tsunami, but it, you know, I guess that has kind of passed. But yeah, they're. I guess. Yeah, I guess they're okay.
Good. That's the good news. Awesome. Well, I want to thank everybody for being with us today on the web chat, and thank all of you guys for watching on My News 4. Of course, you can watch us every day at 11 o'clock. We are also on our Google Plus page. We do now have one. That's KRNV's Google Plus page. You can find it on our front page of our website. There's a Google Plus button. Just click right on that, and we encourage you to join G+ and be a part of our cyber studio. Weigh in on the topics that are big and happening today, trending, of course, online, always a hot one here, and we'd love to have you on. So just go ahead and add us, and if you're looking for me on Google+, you can find me at mckrnv@gmail.com. Start there. That's a good place to start, and we'll connect you through if you need some help with adding G+. Thanks, everybody, for being with us.
Nice.
And
Thanks.
we'll
Have a
see you
great day.
back sometime
Thank
soon,
you.
hopefully later this week. Have a great day, everybody.